Alright, so we're going to do problems just using the cosine now. And from an earlier video, you might recall we had this little trick to remember things. Toa. Now this one involved the sine, opposite over hypotenuse. But this is the one we want to work on, cosine. Cosine of some angle is going to be equal to the side adjacent that angle divided by the hypotenuse. So this is what we're using. So one of the trickier parts about using cosine is identifying the hypotenuse, the adjacent side. I find it easier to identify the opposite and the hypotenuse, and then whatever's left over must be the adjacent. So for example, if I'm at this angle, I know this is the opposite, and it doesn't really matter because I want to use cosine here. I know this is hypotenuse because it's the biggest side. That must mean this is the adjacent side. And we'll call this x now. That's what we're trying to find. So let's go through and let's identify the adjacent side and all these. I've kind of helped by putting this box. But for this angle, that would be opposite. This is definitely hypotenuse, so this is our adjacent side. What about this? Well, this is opposite. This is hypotenuse, which is what I'm missing. That must mean this is the adjacent side, the one they gave me. And likewise, for this angle, this is the opposite. This is the hypotenuse, because it's opposite the 90-degree angle. And this little side here must be the adjacent. Okay? So identifying those is part of the battle. For this first one, just start off by writing what you have. I got 34.8, so I have the cosine of 34.8 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. The adjacent is the thing I don't know, so I'll call that x over the hypotenuse, which I do know, 13.4. And so to get x, all I need to do is take the cosine of 34.8, find that on my calculator, times 13.4. Just multiply both sides by the 13.4. So on my calculator, I'm going to clear everything out. I'm going to get rid of the second. So we're going to go 34.8, find the cosine, which is this guy right here, times the 13.4. Hit equals. It comes out to be an almost even 11. So this is 11 right here. And I'm done. Now let's try this one down here. So, once again, angle, this is my adjacent, call that x. This is my hypotenuse. So my cosine of a 43.6 degree angle is equal to my adjacent, which is x, over my hypotenuse, which is 40.6. And once again, multiply both sides by the 40.6 to get x by itself. So I'll have cosine of 43.6 times 40.6 will give me x. I'll break out the calculator, clear everything out. I'll start with that cosine of 43.6. So remember, type in the angle first, 43.6. Get the cosine, this button right here, times 40.6, hit equals 29.4. There we go. All right, what's different about this? So, slight wrinkle here. The thing that I'm missing is the hypotenuse. I want to call it h. I have the adjacent. I don't care about the opposite because cosine doesn't work with the opposite. So what I know is that the cosine of 69.3 equals the adjacent 0.514 over the unknown here, the hypotenuse. And if you remember, what you can do is you can switch. You can put everything that's here down here and move that up here so that h equals 0.514 divided by whatever the cosine of 69.3 is. We can do that. So on my calculator, I type in, let's see, it's cleared out. I type in the 0.514 divided by, I got to type the angle first, 69.3, hit cosine, but that's not my answer yet. I still have to hit equals. There's my answer. So the hypotenuse is 1.45. So again, same kind of problem. Cosine of this angle, 54.2, is going to be equal to the adjacent, which is 1.98, divided by the hypotenuse alongside. We'll just call it h. And this one sets up the same way. I switch those two. Hypotenuse is going to be 1.98 divided by the cosine of 54.2. So on my calculator, 1.98 divided by, type in 54.2, hit cosine, and then hit equals. 3.38 works. All right. So that's how you set those up.